I mean, this is a headline, the new normal. Hey everyone, it is Charissa Thompson and Erin Andrews, and it took a quarantine for Fox to finally give us our own show. You know what I mean? Hey,
yeah.
We'll take it. Thank you guys so much for joining us on our kickoff here on Fox Football Now. Hi, darling.
Hi. I mean, who knew we needed this to happen for our bosses to finally commit to give us some sort of show, right?
You know, we'll take what we can get. And of course, this is the new normal for everyone. So before we get started, on behalf of Erin and I and everyone at Fox, we just want to say thank you to all the healthcare workers, the first responders, and everyone out there doing incredible things on the front lines. You know, sitting in our house is a very, very, very small contribution that we can do. And I know that sometimes people say, oh, who cares about sports at a time like this? And I agree to a certain extent, but sports is also a great unifier, and globally and nationally, whenever there's been any kind of crisis or tragedy, sports has a way of bringing people together. So for the next half an hour, we hope to entertain and just have some fun, and definitely not lose sight of the bigger picture, but just sort of bring some lightness to a very tough time. So.
Yeah, Fox has been playing some of our games over the past couple of days on Fox FS1, and when I've had a chance to watch them and hear Joe and Troy's voice, see the pregame guys, and also just see the players, you know, with their out on the field or with their helmets off, I just thought, what a great distraction. And that's when we bothered our bosses and our guy Joel Santos and Peter Schrager and Mark Ingram, and we were like, let's get out there, let's get going, let's get a distraction, and let's get people's minds on some football here.
Absolutely. So let's do that, Erin. Let's start off with some football headlines, shall we? This one I know you're all about for a couple different reasons. Your boy Tom Brady to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I love this headline. No pets, but goats are okay. And of course, him and his Michigan brethren, Derek Jeter, teaming up. Tom will be renting Derek Jeter's house in St. Petersburg. Oh, you know, something small, 30,000 square feet, 7 bedrooms, 9 bathrooms, an entertainment room, billiards room, pool, some boat lifts. He will not be bored during his quarantine in Tampa. But I know, of course, you are from Tampa. So what was the first thing that you thought of when you heard that he was going there?
Well, he'll be cozy in St. Petersburg is what we Tampa natives like to call it, where Jeets lives. But no, we had heard this rumor for a while that Tom was potentially maybe talking to the Buccaneers. I think it was at the NFC Championship. There was word about that. But when it finally came down, called my dad right away, who's living in Tampa Bay. And I said, wow, what do you think? The GOAT's coming to Tampa. And he just said, this is so hard to believe. I mean, this franchise has had a rough go. And I don't think it's going to really hit anyone until TB runs out in their new Tampa Bay Buccaneer uniforms, which I think are unveiling next week. I'm not sure. Really hope Creamsicle, the old Creamsicle unis, are back for TB12, since he's going to have the number. But as you said, Charissa, you know, Tom moving into St. Petersburg, but Tampa Bay now, Tampa Bay. So
does someone have a drum
set? This is going to be fun.
I'll take all the puns. I'll also take a new jacket wear by Erin Andrews, if you will. No, so that is the biggest headline of the off season, and then that, you know, rightfully so on that one. We also have Christian McCaffrey, and a lot of people doing great in our community right now. He's stepping up.
Yeah, Christian McCaffrey, who Tom Brady and the Buccaneers, which sounds weird to say, we'll see quite a bit in the NFC South. Christian announcing yesterday that he will start a 22andU program, which will support frontline healthcare workers across the Carolinas. And as we've seen during this entire global pandemic, our guys in the NFL stepping up and really doing some good, which gives me goosebumps, makes me so proud of them, and so thankful for what CMAC is doing with his foundation there. And we mentioned the NFC South. I did text Tom Brady and I told him selfishly, I'm so pumped because we're going to be in Tampa a lot now, working, you know, obviously his games and with the NFC South. And how exciting is this division going to be now? You know, you've got the Carolina Panthers. We just mentioned McCaffrey with Teddy Bridgewater. We have Tom Brady. Oh, by the way, New Orleans, Sean Payton, Drew Brees, Atlanta Falcons came on strong towards the end of the season. This is nothing to sniff at here.
Well, two things I need to address. A, Tom Brady's phone number, casual, how you just threw that in there. also, we need to address that you will be taking up residency in the NFC South, because with that lineup, you will be covering a lot of games there this season. Undoubtedly a division that we will keep a close eye on for a lot of different reasons. Tom Brady's old owner, Robert Kraft, also doing good. Our next social media headline that we need to address. He's one of many owners that are stepping up, sending his team plane to China to pick up medical supplies, Erin. Over a million, these N95 masks that we've heard so much about that are all important, and more than 300,000 of those masks are then transported to New York City, the epicenter of this pandemic here in the States. So Robert Kraft, one of the many owners stepping up and doing good right now in this definite time of need.
Absolutely. We always hear so much about the New York, New England rivalry, and that just warmed my heart to see. The Patriots also posted on their Instagram today a shot of the Patriots truck headed to New York, the epicenter, as you mentioned, of all of this, and handing out those masks. So kudos to Mr. Kraft and the Pats for doing that. That was really awesome. Former Patriots defensive coordinator and now current Lions head coach Matt Patricia doing some good in Detroit as well. He actually reached out to a nonprofit-based organization out of Detroit, Empowerment Plan. They were going to be working on some masks and gowns to be helping our healthcare heroes. And Coach Patricia doing his best to power it along with helping out covering seamstress wages, utilizing and operating costs. And I know he told our own Peter Schrager it's an awesome organization, and he's doing it in the spirit of Detroit. I have goosebumps. I love our guys and our coaches and our organizations for helping out so much. Warms my heart.
I love that too. That's incredible. We have the opposite reaction. You get goosebumps and I start sweating. Maybe it's just my updo. I mean, we can't look, you guys. Who says that you can't do your own hair and makeup at a time like this? I have a lot of bronzer on. You know what I mean? LeBron James will not be joining us, but Mark Ingram will, and so will Peter Schrager. Yes. They are both coming up next. We are so excited to be having to have them on our show. Plenty more quarantine Q&A right after this. Welcome back, everybody, to Fox Football Now Quarantine Q&A. I'm Charissa Thompson. She's Erin Andrews. We both have extensions, and so I was like rock, paper, scissors for who's going to wear their hair down. You know what I mean? She won. She's got better hair than I. And we've got to bring in our next guest. He is a 3-time Pro Bowler, the Ravens running back, and one of our favorite people, Mark Ingram. Your hair always looks good, Mark.
Big trust.
What's up? Big trust. Yes, sir. My girl's in the house. Appreciate y'all having me.
We are so happy to have you.
Yeah. Glad to be here with y'all in this quarantine Q&A. Been getting ready all day, you know. Got my workout in and been working on getting my quarantine Q&A for the day. You know?
That's what I'm saying. And we got so many good questions. The first question Erin and I have, though, it was unanimous when we wanted to ask you something. Where are your children? Because you have 4 under the age of 5. So you and your wife are saints that you are in this quarantine time with that many children at that small of age groups.
They all running around this house right now. This boy out there messing in the pool. The girls are tearing out a playroom somewhere. I think the baby is chilling. She's 5 months, so she might be the most cordial and relaxed right now. It is crazy. I mean, you only can go to the front yard, to the pool, to the family walk so many times. You know what I mean? So.
Oh my gosh.
Difficult with them, but you know, I'm just glad that I get to spend a lot of time with them, you know, so that's why I'm trying to look positive thing. I'm looking at it, that I get to spend a lot of time with them.
Yeah, absolutely. How are you guys doing? You guys are safe, you're healthy, everybody's good in your family?
Yes, my family is safe and healthy. We're blessed, so I'm thankful for that. I have one of my best friends I grew up with. His parents actually are fighting it right now, fighting the virus, so that touched me. Just a couple days ago, I was on the phone with him, best friend I grew up with. They practically raised me, you know, throughout middle school and high school. So, you know, I have had it hit home, you know, the virus situation hit home to me. So, but we're healthy here in my house. And, you know, we're just praying for all those, you know, that aren't healthy right now. So.
Absolutely.
It's a difficult time in a lot of ways. And so I'm glad that, you know, you're calling attention to the positives in this and what you can gain out of it, which is spending more time with your family. But we know that you're you know, the last time Erin actually saw you on the field, there was lighter times and you were having some fun as the ultimate hype man that you are with your quarterback, Lamar Jackson. So let's quickly flash back to that.
A touchdown. Someone suggested I give you the mic and you ask a question. You want to go ahead?
Freaky L, a.k.a. Action Jackson, a.k.a. Era A Apparel. Listen, my dog. Hey, Juno, hit him. Hey, crank. All right, L. Man, you broke Mike Vick's rushing record, man. You the AFC North champions for the 2nd year in a row. How it feel, man? Tell me how it feel, L Freaky.
It feel good, but you know we got a lot of season left to play, and we got 2 more banners to hang up. And
so you telling me the story unwritten?
Unwritten right now.
Book unfinished.
Right.
Congratulations, brother, on breaking Mike's Vick record and being the GOAT, the MVP that you are.
Appreciate it, bro. Love you, bro.
Send us to break.
Hey, man, Thursday Night Football in America. Back to you.
My favorite, Erin, send us to break. Mark, you're going to put us all out of a job.
Yeah,
No.
I
I'm just
gotta
trying
say,
to add value. That's all. One day I just want to add value. That's all. I want us all to do the thing together. You feel me?
oh, you added value. And the number one thing, Mark, and I know when you are done with football, which is a very long time from now, you are going to be doing this for a living. It's easy to figure out. But the number one rule is you never give up your microphone. And when that was all said and done, a lot of people were like, wow, you know, you're so lucky it went well. And I said, it's Mark Ingram. We knew it was going to go well. First of all, he's big trust. Second of all, he's just, I've known you since you were in college. So really I was, 15 when I was interviewing you in college. But I've known you since then. And yeah, you're made for this. You love it. So we could trust you. But I love the part at the end when you threw it to break and Joe Buck, he laughed like a little kid. He was like, it was awesome.
No, I appreciate y'all having faith in me. You know what I mean? You know
Oh,
I
yeah.
wouldn't let you down. I wasn't going to let my girl EA down. Can't do that. We
Absolutely.
go way back.
Mm-hmm.
You guys, you definitely go way back. We're going to talk more about some Alabama connections a little bit later. But first, wait, hold on. Are those the babies?
Yeah, there's one of them. Come here, man.
Bring them in.
Go get the girls
Live
too.
yeah, here we go.
Say hi right quick.
This, Charissa, by the way, is the new norm. This is the new norm.
I love it, by the way. Anything happen? Look at her. She's
My
perfect.
ovaries are officially hurting. Yes.
Oh my gosh. Mark, what's this beautiful baby's name?
This is Mayla Ingram. Mayla
Look at her.
Ingram.
Well, you know what? Then it's very apropos that you brought her in because she was born in Alabama.
Yes.
And you were not planning on, your wife was not planning on having her there. I know you guys were back there for your national championship anniversary and whoops, all of a sudden, now we're going to go into labor?
Yeah, we were in Alabama. So she saw her doctor like the Thursday before we left. She's like, okay, come here, dude. She was like, she's like, dude, come here.
And you get a kid, and you get a kid.
Say hi. What you got there? Reese's?
This is baby Mark.
Show them the Reese's.
Yes.
You are so lucky.
Hey, say hi.
Got your quarantine comfort food.
Can you say hi?
Hi.
Say hi, Miss Erin and Miss Charissa.
Hi, Erin.
Miss?
Hi, Erin.
Miss
And
Erin.
Miss-
Hi.
Yeah.
Hi. I know I have a hard name. How are you?
Good.
Good. Is your daddy doing a good job of taking care of you? What is
Yes.
he doing to hang out with? Are you guys playing games?
What are we doing to hang out right now when we're at home? What's your funnest thing that we do?
We
Tell them.
we paint. I like painting.
Is your dad cooking for you at all?
Oh
Be
my
honest.
gosh.
Oh, and there's the saint.
There's
There's
wife,
the warrior
yeah.
of the house.
Happy anniversary, you guys.
Thank you.
Okay, now is your time. Now is your time because we know who's doing all the hard work in the house. How much is your husband helping with the cooking and the cleaning right now during quarantine?
I mean, I cook and I clean, but he'll do like the baths and he'll put him to bed. He'll help with that.
Yeah, she's spoiled. I'm spoiled with the cooking.
How are you staying sane with all these kiddos and your hubby home?
Thankfully, my sister-in-law's in town helping.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
She's been
Yeah.
here for like almost a month. So
Extra help. So.
yeah, she got out of Michigan before it got crazy. And
Oh,
luckily that she's here with us, so we got extra hands in the house.
yeah.
Oh my
But
goodness.
yeah.
Five babies under the age of 4. I'm sure you will take all the help you can get. You have the most beautiful children.
story. We're telling the Bama story.
Where
So
she leave off?
yeah,
Yes.
you went to go see your doctor the Thursday before we left. They said that you're good. That we'll see you next week probably.
Yes.
And I'm like, you're not gonna have the baby, right? She's like, no. The doctor says we're good. We get there, Alabama, we're all good. We land. We go to the game, and they leave early and go back to the hotel. When I get to the hotel after the game, she's telling me she's having contractions. I'm like, yo, you need to just sit down, relax, drink water, put your feet up. Like, let's just see if like this calms down. And I'm gonna put the kids to bed, all this, you know. And kept timing it, and before we knew it,
Like 3 minutes apart. Like this might be the real thing. So.
Oh my gosh.
I started calling people like, yo, what's the best hospital to deliver baby out here? They're like, you need to go to Blase, you know, Northport, you know, the women's hub or whatever. And so it was like 8 minutes away. We went there, got checked in.
They tell me, oh, you're having contractions every 2 to 3 minutes, but you're only 1 centimeter, so this might be like false like labor, but let me get the doctor. Doctor comes in like 15 minutes, is like, oh no, you're 4 centimeters now. I think this is real.
Oh my.
Wonderful husband, meanwhile, is texting, is like on Instagram trying to find a birth photographer.
Because we had it all set up in Baltimore. We had like a birth photographer, all this. I'm like, how are we going to get pictures? Blah, you know what I mean? So luckily this lady answered me and she came through. We went to school together in Alabama.
Mind you, she's a huge fan. So she was at the game. She has a picture on her Instagram from that day that she's there. Anyways, is Mark Ingram really sending me a message at midnight?
IG.
You know what? The memory lasts a lifetime, and now you have your beautiful Bama Belle, right?
Yeah.
She is beautiful.
You guys are amazing.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness. What a love. All of them.
Thank you.
Angels.
Seriously. So wait, so Mark, with your babies being, you know, 4 kids under the age of 5, do you have to do some kind of homeschooling? Is there a preschool element here happening, or what subjects are you teaching if you are in fact having to teach school?
So my 5-year-old, she's in VPK, which is right before kindergarten. And so she's not on the homeschool because she's not in kindergarten, but they do have a VPK curriculum. So the school is sending you know, worksheets, and they send like forms home you can print off, and they could work, you know, that way. I think the curriculum is only like 2 hours throughout the day tops. So we make sure we, you know, teach them and make sure that they're learning for a few hours out the day. And then, you know, just do activities and different things the rest of the time to try and weather the storm.
Yeah. And then meanwhile, I mean, we're all waiting to see, obviously, while we're hoping everybody stays safe and stays 6 feet away from each other, that we have a season starting on time. And in order to do so, you guys have to take care of yourselves and get in shape. And I can't imagine what that's been like, especially for you coming off an injury. Last time America saw you, you were dealing with a calf injury in the playoffs. So right now, how are you trying to stay in shape, get that calf ready when you have to be 6 feet apart from everyone?
Man, I mean, the main thing is practicing social distancing, whether you have to work out in the garage or if you have a reliable person that has a nice backyard where you could just utilize space, you know what I mean? It's just, it's challenging, it's difficult, but you just got to get it how you get it. Whether it's, you know, putting the FaceTime up and following your trainer along, or following your strength coach along, or following your rehab therapist along. It's just challenging, but you know, you got to get that work in one way or another. I'm gonna get that work in. So,
well, Mark, your tank top is telling me that you're getting work in. So we're good here.
Tropical.
You feel good?
Yeah, y'all making me look good. Appreciate it.
You know what? It's normally we would say good angle, but it feels like you're doing some work. I've seen the training.
Hitting them angles, hitting them with them angles.
Hey,
that's not a filter, America.
No, it's not. Okay, so I know that you're busy running around with the babies, but once you do bathe them and they go to bed, are you and your wife watching any fun shows, binge-worthy kind of recommendations for us?
The shows are key, especially in this time. But we just finished Center, so we were watching Center. We finished, obviously we finished Tiger King.
Yeah. Meow.
Yeah, and then we just finished season 3 Ozark. So those are 3 things we just finished.
Marty.
Some good movies I saw, Hidden Gems with Adam Sandler. That was awesome. But yeah, we're big show junkies. So I got to watch season 2 of All American coming up. and we watched a little bit of the 60 Days In. You heard of that on A&E? The 60 Days In? It's like, so they basically take participants, volunteers to go into these jails for 60 days, and the heads of these jails give them all missions like contraband or drugs or weapons or whatever it may be. They put these, you know, regular people in jail for 60 days, give them an alibi, give them a story, and it's kind of entertaining. So you should check it out.
Love it.
Yeah. Erin.
Hey, we reached out to the fans before when we announced that we were going to have you on, and we said, hey, send us your questions for Big Trust. We want to know what you want to ask him. We're going to start with this first fan question for you. It's got to do with some dance moves. This is from Walton Kopp. He wants to know who's the best dancer on the Ravens. What do you have?
Other than myself, I'd have to say Brandon Williams, Big Baby. Okay. Big Baby. He gets down with it, so he can dance pretty good. But other than myself, I'd have to say him, and then probably Judon after him. So those are the top three.
Your gift game, by the way, is strong on Instagram. When you search your name on gifts, it is. I mean, that's like its own docuseries. We have another question from Zazu asking, will Tom Brady win a Super Bowl before Bill Belichick does?
I don't know, because we're going to win one before he gets another one.
Hey.
So that's ding, 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 ding. You're not tricking me there, buddy.
And last but not least, we have a final question from Andrew Lynch. Says, which NFL fan base is the most passionate?
You know, I played in New Orleans 8 years. You have to put them at the top, arguably them at the top. But just the last season we had in Baltimore, the love everywhere, all around the country, but especially in Baltimore itself, I think those two have to be up there at the top for sure. And that's not being biased, that's just being honest. Playing in the Superdome in the most hostile, best environments, but also playing in M&T Bank as a, you know, as an enemy and as a Raven. So, but KC is tough to play. Seattle's tough to play. There's a lot of good fan bases out there, but I think New Orleans and the Ravens are at the top of both of those lists for sure. Arguably, you can't talk about it without having those two franchises in the conversation.
Of course. So, Mark, we'd be remiss if we didn't play a quick game with you as it pertains to NFL headlines. So a lot of moves this offseason. So we're going to play a game, rapid fire style. One word response from you when I say a player and the team they went to. Okay. First up, Tom Brady, Tampa Bay.
Sheesh. Tampa. I'm like, yeah, going to Tampa, but now the NFC South is off the chain.
So yeah, good. Hey, and I'm going to add on this one word association here. What is your feeling now that you're not going to see Tom Brady in the AFC anymore? That's not a word.
No words needed.
Yay!
We've now moved this game to a game of charades. That means
yeah. All right, another quarterback.
Or are you raising the roof? We don't know.
Yeah. Phillip Rivers to Indy.
Okay. I like that you're taking the charades approach to this whole game. It works.
Goes with the dance.
Does it work? Does it work? I gotta say.
Hey, it's an emoji. Whatever you want to do. Okay, next up, Todd Gurley to Atlanta.
Beast. It's a beast move by them.
How about the fact that you can't even complete that deal because he can't take his physical because he's quarantined in California?
Yeah, I mean, didn't that happen with us and Michael Brockers too? It really pissed me off.
Yeah.
Okay, Emmanuel Sanders to your former team, the New Orleans Saints, you say?
Power play. I think that's one word in hockey, right?
Well, it's an action. Let's go to Erin for more.
Well, let's go over to my backyard to get words on that. Hey, a guy that's going to help your team, and I'm pumped up because he is one of my favorites as well. Calais Campbell to the Ravens, baby.
Monster.
Yeah, that's good at wow. Him on your defense, that's just naughty.
Nasty. Dirty.
Love it.
Yeah, I think I'm doing better with the one words.
No, you're great. Actually, I had a feeling you were going to give me more than one word, so you did well. In fact,
I'm trying to keep it to one word. I can elaborate, but I'm trying to keep it to one word. I'm trying to stay within the rules.
Okay, no, I know, because you know what? I love that about you. You abide by the rules. One guy that wasn't abiding by the rules, according to the quarantine social distancing, and we won't have to get into it, but AB was out with your quarterback and with his cousin Hollywood Brown. What are your thoughts when Rumorville gets going and they see a picture like that and they say AB to Baltimore ?
Let's get it, AB. Let's go.
So that's a yes. You would love him to come there.
AB, Hollywood, Willie Snead, Mark Andrews, the running backs, LJ, the defense. I don't know what else
Bring
to
it
say,
on.
man. Bring it on. I'm with it. I know he.
Are you hearing any rumblings of this? Are you hearing? Come on. I mean, you had to have texted Lamar as soon as he posted the photo and said, "What's up?" or talked to Hollywood and said, "What's going on with your cousin?" What are you hearing?
I mean, it's just all speculation at this point. You
Oh,
know,
come
we
on.
all kind of live in South Florida, so I think they just got together for a little throw session, and you know, hopefully, maybe some fruitation comes out of this thing. You know, it's all to be found out.
Mark,
You're the best.
we appreciate the time. Please give a huge thanks to your wife and your beautiful family. Thank you guys so much for taking time out to join Quarantine Q&A. You are a favorite of ours personally and professionally, and good luck this year. Stay healthy and more tank tops for everyone.
Yes. No, but thank you for having me, for real. I appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Y'all the best.
Thanks,
Thank
Big Truck.
you. Bye, Mark. Erin misses that music year-round.
I do.
So we put that in just for her. Welcome back, everybody, to Fox Football. Now it's Quarantine Q&A, and we just had a very boring segment. Easy for me to say. I need a drink. Maybe that would help. A really boring segment. And you know what I am? I'm speechless after we just had Mark Ingram on. He is wildly entertaining, almost as entertaining as Peter Schrager. Dun, dun, dun. Speaking of Schrager bombs.
Finally. I've never gotten to share a set with him before. And if this is how I can get it, I'll take it. You two get to be with each other all the time on Sunday. And finally, this is happening.
It is.
It's a moment. It's a moment.
It is so good to join you guys. You know, we text all the time. Now we're finally on this wonderful Fox Football Now show, the new normal. I'll say this about Mark Ingram. He looks incredible. He's in incredible shape at the great tank top. I'm currently wearing sweatpants in a basement.
I know.
Well, we couldn't tell from the lighting. Can we open up the shades? Or, I mean, why is it so dark, Shregs?
He looks so good. This guy's probably doing all. Do you know how many times I've had frozen pizza from Wegmans over the last few weeks?
Not an ad. Not an ad.
A lot of Wegmans.
Have you been cooking at all, Shregs? Have you?
No. My lovely wife, Erica, has been handling it and holding it down. I've been eating a lot, but I have not been cooking a lot.
Well, your hair
well,
didn't get the note that we're in a quarantine. Yeah.
You're a guy that's working no matter if you're quarantined or not. What a crazy time for you. I know you were, the free agency frenzy while this was all happening. How's everything for you over there? Everyone's healthy and good, and you're getting a little bit of a break?
Everyone's healthy and good, and you're right. The NFL just keeps on rolling, and it's almost amazing the feedback we got because all this stuff is happening, and there's all this news, and we're breaking news, and people are like, thank you. It's a distraction from what's going on in the real world, which I wasn't sure if people would look at it a different way, but hey, it's the job that I'm paid to do, and I'm going to continue to do it, and I love being here with you guys to talk about it.
Well, perfect. Let's get to it then, because you are always, our first that we go to in terms of news and notes. You have the best information, and we want to know what's happening. And I'm speaking for Erin here. What's happening with the quarterback situation in New England?
Yeah, look, anyone who tells you that they know exactly what's happening is lying, because no one in that organization is saying a word. And I could tell you, I know folks there, they're not talking. But I will say this, throughout the season, I would get dispatches almost from coaches around the league or sources around the league being like, the Patriots guys all seem to really like Stidham right now. And that's when Tom Brady was the starter. And I would hear that when Garoppolo was there, that they all really like Garoppolo. And then at the combine, it really picked up. And it was like, if Brady leaves, and we're not sure he's leaving, he did leave, don't be shocked if they go with a Stidham veteran quarterback combination. And that veteran quarterback ended up being Brian Hoyer. I will say this, though. Bill Belichick, A, will never get caught with his pants around his ankles surprised and end up a 2-14 Patriots team because he just didn't know what he had at quarterback. They'll have a plan. And the other thing that has really been picking up some steam in the last couple weeks since the Combine was, don't be shocked if the Patriots make some sort of crazy move. And I don't think it's Cam Newton or Jameis or even Andy Dalton. They're talking draft. And is it trade up to get Tua, who Saban and Belichick know each other? Maybe. Is it Justin Herbert, who's an academic All-American and a Rose Bowl MVP, who has it upstairs up here that might be something that they really like in New England? Or is it offering, who knows what they could even offer to go get Joe Burrow because he's the number one? Who knows?
Really?
People are saying that don't be shocked if the Patriots make some huge, big swing. And, of course, that's not coming from New England. That's from people around the league. And one note, the team with the third pick in the draft are the Detroit Lions. The general manager, Bob Quinn, worked in New England forever. The defensive coordinator in New England, who's now the head coach of the Lions, was Matt Patricia. The fourth pick, Joe Judge, who just left many years working with Bill Belichick up there in New England, is now the Giants head coach. Usually it's guys who have familiarity who end up making trade partners. I can't say that that's definitely going to happen, but if there's conversations, don't be shocked if the 3 or the 4 are the spot that the Patriots are talking with.
Can I just fangirl? No, I just want to fangirl out for a second. What, in your mind, it would be Burrow, right? If the Pats made a move to get Burrow, would that be the biggest move that New England could make?
Yeah, because
in your mind,
I think everyone will say that Burrow is the number one prospect right now at quarterback. The problem I have with it is I don't know what draft capital it would take to get the number 1 overall pick. If you're the Dolphins, you have 3 first-round picks. You can go to the Bengals and say, we want Joe Burrow. Here are 3 first-round picks. They have to listen. Who could the Patriots offer? I mean, they have the 23rd overall pick. They have a couple veteran players. It would be really difficult to get up to number 1. And I think that's where Joe Burrow is going to end up going, number 1 overall to the Bengals.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about another guy. Obviously, you mentioned him before, Tua, his draft stock, and where is it right now? We know about his hip. There was a report yesterday about him getting checked out again by a doctor, and his camp was saying he was fine. But where is his stock right now, Schrags?
Okay, Erin, it's a great question because at the Combine a couple of weeks ago, when we were all there, the momentum was like a locomotive for Tua. He looks healthy, he looks great, he's amazing in the interviews. In the last few weeks, I'll tell you, I talked to all these teams. It's kind of been at a standstill, and it's almost like, all right, because of the situation in the country right now and because of the lack of ability for these doctors to examine Tua on their own, it's almost like you're really taking a big swing and a leap of faith that this guy's hip is 100% right. And
wow.
I don't know if Tua goes as high as he would have gone before all this stuff had happened in the country. No prospect was maybe hurt more than Tua because everyone wants to see the hip up close. Everyone wants to see the ankle up close. Everyone wants to do their own medical analysis with their doctors. And because of the current state of the country, they're not going to have that opportunity to. I would say this, Justin Herbert had a chance to meet with the Dolphins right before all this happened. Tua did not. I wouldn't be shocked if you saw Herbert or Love go even before Tua just because of what a risk that hip might end up being. And these teams like to have 100% sure things physically. And we know that Justin Herbert's in full physical health. And we know that Love, at the very least, we know he can take the field and can play next season.
Speaking of, the front office or head coaches wanting to know if they have a sure thing, Schrags, the 2017 draft, Ryan Pace moves up in the draft and he takes Mitchell Trubisky, number 2 overall. Who else was in that draft? Patrick Mahomes and Deshaun Watson. Looking at it now, the news comes out today that Ryan Pace is saying there's an open audition between Nick Foles and Mitchell Trubisky, the guy that he moved up just a couple years ago to take number 2 overall. And I know it's not an exact science, we get it. But what was your reaction when you heard that today about him saying it's an open competition, or are you not surprised?
Okay, there's a few factors here, Charissa. First of all, there's something called the 5th-year option where these teams have to pick up these guys to ensure that they're going to keep them for the 5th year. We know the Texans are going to pick up their 5th-year option on Watson. We know the Chiefs are going to do it with Patrick Mahomes. The Bears haven't done that with Trubisky yet. And you add on this. They're going to pay Nick Foles $20 million this year. That is what his salary is, $20 million. That is not chump change. That is way more than Trubisky. And not only does Matt Nagy have multiple experiences with Nick Foles, with Philadelphia and Kansas City, the offensive coordinator is Bill Lazor. He was with Nick Foles. And also John DeFilippo is the quarterback's coach. He was with Nick Foles when Nick Foles had that miracle run with the Eagles. There are a lot of reasons to believe, open competition or not, whoever gets the first snap, that Nick Foles might very well be the starter for the Chicago Bears. But we're going to see how this thing plays out whenever we get back down to field and see how they play. But I wouldn't be shocked if it was Nick Foles and not Mitchell Trubisky when this thing all came to.
Yeah,
Is he
because
the
what
starter?
happened when Nick Foles was the backup in Philly?
He was absolutely. Nick Foles
He
was
won
the
a Super Bowl. We get it. It was a fill in the blank. Okay, we have a lot of news and notes, and we could go on and on and on. But quickly, before we let you go, Schrager, to open the blinds, talk us through real quickly the new NFL playoff structure.
All right, so you've got now 14 teams instead of 12. You're going to have 7 per conference, and only one team gets a bye in that wild card round, which makes this thing way more wide open. It also makes December football, the games that Erin Andrews is going to be on the sidelines for, way more interesting because there's more teams that are going to be there. Interesting, 43% of the teams in both conferences are going to make the playoffs, which makes that also very cool. And I would say this, wild card Saturday and Sunday, 3 games apiece, an early game, an afternoon game, and then a night game. I know a lot of people are like, I don't know if we want to mess with that. I like football. I like more football, and I love playoff football. I'm all for it, and I can't wait to see how those first few weeks are going to play out in the playoffs when this gets put in place.
And we like you, Peter Schrager, the consummate professional. We appreciate the time. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
It's frozen.
Absolutely love having Schrager Bombs on, and he said it perfectly. We miss football, we love football, and in order to get back to our normal lives, please practice what they're preaching. Social distancing, wash your hands, stay healthy, stay safe. We hope this provided you some sort of distraction with everything that's going on right now.
Absolutely. And stay home. And thank you guys for joining us for this small little bit of distraction on Fox Football Now's Quarantine Q&A. So make sure you continue to follow Erin and I both on all social media platforms of ours, and make sure you keep submitting questions to hashtag Quarantine Q&A. We will announce our guest for next week, and actually we're moving to FS1 next week, so we will let you know who our guest is. But please submit any questions. That's 2 raising the roofs, and as a gal that loves sports wagering, I'll take the over for 3 next week. We love you all. Stay safe, stay healthy, and thank you for hanging out with us.